Okay, so now we'll discuss about the urinary system. In the urinary system, you all know what are the basic structures involved in urinary system. It contains two kidneys, two ureters, one urinary bladder, and one urethra. So these are the urinary system organs or excretory organs. They are also called excretory organs. The main function of these urinary system or excretory system to filter the blood, to keep it pure. So what these kidneys what they will do, they filter the blood to make the blood as a in the pure form, and deposits nitrogenous waste from the blood. It pure filters all the nitrogenous waste material from the blood and releases outside, and regulates the water and electrolyte balance. So these are the some functions of the excretory system. Now we'll study one by one. Kidneys. So where they are situated? So these kidneys, they are present on the posterior abdominal wall and behind the peritoneum. So that's why they are called retroperitoneal. Then in relation to vertebral column, where they are present, see in this picture, you can make out it is opposite. It is opposite to the T12 vertebra, from T12 to lumbar third vertebra, or sometimes you can also tell opposite to T12 and upper 3 lumbar vertebra. So that also you can tell. Okay. Whereas the left kidney is slightly higher. Left one is in the higher position as compared to the right kidney, because what is there in the right side? Right side we have a liver. So during development, what happens? This liver, it pushes the kidney down. Right side kidney, it will be pushed because of the enlargement of the liver. So that is the meaning. Because the right kidney is pushed below by the liver. Okay. And above the each kidney, on the upper side of each kidney, so there is, on the upper side you have a suprarenal gland, or it is also called adrenal gland. Okay. Then how you will identify the side of the kidneys? First you have to see the direction of the urethra. This is the urethra. You have to see the direction. The urethra should face downwards. It comes downwards. So if the urethra, if you hold in the reverse manner, the urethra will be like this. So then it is in the wrong position. Okay. Next, then how the structure? What is the border? How the kidneys? It is the concave. The lateral border, this border is the convex border, and this is the medial border. Okay. The lateral border is convex. See this, it is convex. Whereas the medial border is, it has the both convex and concave, and presence of the hilum. So this is the hilum, where the structures enters and comes outside. Then another identification point, the renal pelvis, the upper part of the urethra, this part, the upper part of the urethra, this is the renal pelvis, is the most posterior. It is the posterior, behind, whereas the renal vein is the most anterior structure of the hilum. Okay, the renal pelvis is the most posterior part and the renal vein is the most anterior structure present in the hilum. Next, what are the features of kidney? As already discussed, the lateral, medial and lateral borders. This is the lateral border and these are the medial border. I already told, and this is the upper pole and the lower pole and the hilum of the kidney, anterior surface, and behind this we have posterior surface. Then upper pole, on the upper pole, what you have? On the upper pole of each kidney, there is presence of the endocrine gland, that is adrenal gland or suprarenal gland. Okay. Next, the borders already discussed, that is lateral border and this is the medial border. The lateral border is convex and the medial border is concavo-convex. Okay, and the presence of the hilum. And these are the, where the hilum is present, hilum is present in the middle. It is middle in the medial side. The surfaces, the anterior surface and the posterior surface. Here, the anterior surface is covered with the peritoneum. Okay, the posterior surface is not covered with the peritoneum. Okay, next, the relation of the kidneys. See here, there are two types of relations present in the kidney. One is the anterior relations and the posterior relations. One thing you remember, the posterior relations of both the kidneys are same. So where the difference is? The difference is present only in the anterior surface of right kidney and left kidney. The anterior surface of right kidney, the relation is different, and the left kidney anterior relation is different. So what are the structures it is related? So in both the kidneys, the right and left kidney, the common structure is suprarenal gland or adrenal gland. So it is present on both the upper pole of right both the kidneys. That is, in the right kidney, right suprarenal gland. In the left kidney, it is called left suprarenal gland. And next, the next structure is related is duodenum. So which part of the duodenum is related? It is the second part of the duodenum is related around the hilum. So where it is present? It is present around the hilum of the kidney. Next, the right lobe of the liver. Which part of the liver is related? The right lobe of the liver. So where it is present? On the lateral to second part of the duodenum. Next, the colon. So which part of the colon? That is the right colic flexure. And then it is the ileum. Here is the ileum. And next, this one is the ascending branch of right colic artery. These are the structural relations of the right kidney. Next, see the structure, see this diagram. It is not similar, it is different from right side. The relations of the kidney anterior relations of the left kidney. What are the anterior relations? So first one is, as already told, left suprarenal gland. Next one is the organ. So on the right side, it is related to liver, whereas on the left side, it is related to spleen. Okay. So this is one organ. And the next organ, what is this? What is the next organ? The next organ is the body of the pancreas. It is related to pancreas. Okay. Which part of the pancreas? That is most important here. The body of the pancreas is related to left kidney. And you can just mention the stomach. So it is the just write stomach. So that is that's enough. And then the splenic artery. So where the splenic artery? The splenic artery is above the body of pancreas. So here in the above you will write the body of the pancreas is related. Next, above the body of the pancreas, what you will find? You will find the splenic artery. Which part of the colon? See, it is easy. On the right side, right colic flexure. On the left side, left kidney is related to left colic flexure. Okay. Next, on the right side, the ileum. On the left side, it is jejunum. Okay. On the right side, ascending branch of right colic artery. On the left side, ascending branch of left colic artery. This is how you have to remember the structural relation of the structure in the anterior surface of right and left kidneys. Okay. Next, you practice this diagram. Okay. What is there in the diagram? So here they mentioned suprarenal area, hepatic area, duodenal area, colic area, and jejunal area. Suppose in the exam, if we ask this diagram, so we will give this picture without the namings and the colors will be there, same like this. And then you have to write. So suppose if I ask, identify this organ, pointed structure. Yes, in the practical exam, suppose if I ask identification, then you will write identify the structure and side of the organ. Okay. Then you have to write right kidney. And then what are the anterior relations? So you can write the suprarenal area, all this. But if you write these, you will get less marks. You have to write suprarenal area. Which suprarenal? The right suprarenal gland you have to write. Okay. Hepatic area. Hepatic area means the right lobe of the liver is attached. The duodenum. Which part of the duodenum? The second part of the duodenum. In the colic area, the right colic flexure and the ileum. Here it is the ileum. So it is not the jejunum. Okay. This is wrong here. So this is on the right side. It is the ileum. Okay. Like this you have to write. So if you write these same as in the picture, you will get the marks, but not the full marks. Okay. Same like in the left side also. Next, as I already mentioned, the posterior relation of both the kidneys are same. What are the similar structures? Posteriorly, both the kidneys, they are related to four muscles and four vessels and nerves. So what are the four muscles? The muscles are the diaphragm and then psoas major, quadratus, lumborum and transverse abdominis. Okay. So these are the four muscles are the posterior relation of the kidneys, both the kidneys. So there is no right and left in the posterior relation. Okay. Then what are the vessels? The vessels are subcostal vessels. In the subcostal vessels means the artery and vein. That is subcostal artery, subcostal vein. Okay. Then subcostal nerve. What are the other nerves? Ilio-hypogastric nerve and ilio-inguinal nerve. So these are the posterior relations of the kidney. Next, what are the coverings of the kidney? The coverings of the kidneys, it is covered by fibrous capsule, perinephric, perirenal fat. The fat is also present, and renal fascia, perinephric fascia or renal fascia, and pararenal fat. So where this fat is present, the fat is surrounding here, all this area. It is surrounded by all this area is surrounded by fat. Okay, and in the hilum. So how the structures are present? This we already know. What they are? The renal vein, renal artery, and renal pelvis. So where they are present? Renal vein is the anteriorly, renal artery, it is present in the middle, and renal ureter. The pelvis of the ureter is in the posterior part. So this is the pelvis of the ureter. This is the renal artery, and then this one is the renal vein. So these are the structural present in the hilum of the kidney. Next, how the kidneys are placed or supports. What are the structures which gives support for the kidney? So they are again perinephric fascia, so that is renal fascia, and then perinephric fat or renal fat. Where this fat is present? It is present between the fascia and the true capsule of the kidneys. And then the renal vessels. These are the vessels with the renal artery and the renal vein that gives support for the kidney. And then neighboring visceras. Neighboring visceras means the visceras around the kidney. What are the visceras? You also have the spleen, pancreas, liver, intestine. All these structures, they give support for the kidney. And then intra-abdominal pressure. Next, the renal artery comes from where? The renal artery, it is the branch from the abdominal aorta. This one, the red color one is the abdominal aorta. From here, you have the branch that is called renal artery. At what level? The renal artery is present at the second lumbar vertebrae. And then renal vein, it is coming from the inferior vena cava. This one is the inferior vena cava. Okay. Next. So now we studied the outer structure, external features of the kidney. what is there inside the kidney? Inside the kidney, when you take the section, it is mainly divided into two parts. So one is the outer part. This much part is called the cortex, and rest of all this all this is these one. All these are medulla. Okay, outer cortex and inner medulla, like in the suprarenal gland. Okay, so the outer cortex, so it is light and gray in color. Okay, then in the medulla, what is there in the medulla? In the medulla, you have renal pyramids. These are the renal pyramids. What you are seeing? These are renal pyramids and renal papillae, renal pelvis, the renal column, minor calyx and major calyx. All these are the structures which are present in the medulla of the pancreas. Okay. Then what is renal pyramid? These renal pyramids, they are pyramidal in shape, like this. These are the pyramidal structure. This is the base of the renal pyramid, and this is the apex of the renal pyramid. Okay, this one. And then what are renal columns? The renal columns, these columns, they are the extension fibers extending from the cortex. So these are the fibers, they are coming from the cortex of the kidney. See here, extension of the cortex that separates the renal pyramid. See here what it is. It separates the two renal pyramids. Here, this one. Here you find the renal column. The structure which is present between two renal pyramids, that is called renal column. Next, what is renal pelvis? The renal pelvis, it is the funnel shaped extension. Yes, you have to memorize the picture. You have to remember all these structures. Okay. Then, in the renal pelvis, so it is the funnel shaped extension. So it is the extension, upper extension of the ureter. It is the upper extension of the ureter. So what are the other things there present? The first large division, this is called the major calyx. This one here you have a major calyx. What it is? This major calyx is the large cup-shaped division of the renal pelvis. It is the what? It is a main branch from the renal pelvis. Then what is minor calyx? So these are the divisions from the major calyx. Here. You got it? They are the minor calyx, they are surrounded by papillae of the pyramid. Papillae means there it is a small connection. Okay. Next. So this is the same structure what you are seeing, the other, the parts, inner parts of the kidney. Okay, major calyx, minor calyx, and this is the pelvis of the ureter. Sometimes they will also tell pelvis of the ureter, or it is also called renal pelvis. Okay, both are same. This is the ureter, and then these are the renal. This is renal pyramid, and below you have a renal papillae, and in between you have, this is renal column, and then this is the same structure. You can just memorize the parts. Next, next is the ureter. What is ureter? Ureter, it comes from the kidneys. See here, it is the structure which is comes from the kidneys. What it does? Ureter collects the urine from the kidney and passes to urinary bladder. So what they are? That's why these are the expandable muscular tube. Ureters are the muscular tube conveys urine. See here, conveys urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Okay. What are the parts? So here it has the three parts, that is renal, pelvis, abdominal part, and the pelvic part. Okay. In some books they will mention only these two parts, or sometimes they will explain all these three, because this renal pelvis most of the time it will be studied under the kidney. It is no problem. Now you remember like this only. What are the parts of the ureter? They are renal pelvis, abdominal part, and the pelvic part. This pelvic part, so what happens? This pelvic part, it is crossing. So it crosses the pelvic inlet by common iliac artery. Next, what are the constrictions you have in the ureter? Constrictions mean it's a small junction. So where are the constriction? The first constriction is at the pelviureteric junction, where the renal pelvis, and at the junction of renal pelvis and the ureter proper, the lower end of the kidney at the junction between the pelvis and the ureter. Which pelvis? The renal pelvis. Okay. Next, where is the next constriction? Next constriction is at the pelvic brim. So what structure? So it is constricted by what structure? Where it is crossing the bifurcation of common iliac artery. So where this constriction is present? At the common iliac artery. Next is on the ischial spine. So where you have the hip bone, the bone is compressing the ureter. That is one constriction. Next, the fourth constriction, where it is when the ureter enters into the urinary bladder, this area. This is the urinary bladder, uretrovesical junction. So these are the four constrictions present in the ureter. Okay, what are these? So these constrictions, they prevent the blockage. And then the blood supply. What are the blood supply of the ureter? It is supplied by renal artery, testicular artery in males, and ovarian artery in females. The branches from the abdominal aorta and the common iliac artery, the internal iliac artery, inferior vesicle. Inferior vesicle means the artery which supplies to the urinary bladder, and whereas the uterine artery in the females. So, is there any doubt still now? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any part you are not understood? Okay. So, shall I continue? Next. Okay, 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 okay. Next is the urinary bladder. Where this urinary bladder is present? Urinary bladder is present in the pelvis. So, this is the area where you find the urinary bladder, where behind the pubic symphysis, this part. Next. So there is a difference, situation is difference in male and female. So in the male, it lies in front of the rectum, whereas in the female, it lies in front of the uterus. Okay. So these are the difference between male and female. So in the male, it is in front of the rectum. Rectum is here, and in females, it is present in front of the uterus. The position or the shape of the uterus in the when the bladder is full, so it extends like this in the abdomen. Extended, see this yellow color structure. So this is urine is full. When the urine is full, it extends into the abdomen, this much big. Okay, extend into the abdominal cavity. When the empty bladder, when the bladder is empty, it lies within the pelvis with a shape like upside down pyramid. This pink structure. So this is where when the urine is empty, empty bladder, it is like this, smaller. So when it is filled, it extends into the abdomen, and urine passes from the, you should know this, where the features. Okay. Next, the relations. You should know the relations of the urinary bladder. So what are the relations? First, you remember what are the parts of the urinary bladder. The parts of the urinary bladder is apex, base or fundus, okay, neck of the urinary bladder, the surfaces and the borders. The apex and the necks I will tell in the next slide. First we'll see the base of the urinary bladder. The relations of the base of the urinary bladder is different in male and female. In the male, it is related to vas deferens, seminal vesicle, rectum, recto, vesicle, pouch, and the peritoneum. So these are the structures relating in the male urinary bladder. Whereas in the female, it is related to vagina and cervix of the uterus. Cervix of the uterus. Okay. The surfaces are superior, right and left lateral, infero-lateral surfaces. Okay. You have to remember all these structures. Next what I told, the anterior angle or inferior angle. The anterior angle is also called apex of the urinary bladder. The inferior angle is also called the neck of the urinary bladder. The anterior angle, it is attached a structure called median umbilical ligament. Here, this is the apex. It is attached like this. Here you have, in the abdomen, you have a small hole. That structure is called umbilicus. The ligament, it is attaching here from apex of the urinary bladder to the umbilicus. That is called the median umbilical ligament. Next, what is there in the angle of the urinary bladder? The neck of the urinary bladder, inferior angle or neck of the urinary bladder, is the most fixed part. So it is very tightly fixed. It is very tightly fixed and gives urethra. From here, the urethra comes outside. The urine, whatever the urine stored in the urinary bladder, it comes out through urethra. Now, the relations are different in male and female. Okay, the neck of the urinary bladder, it is related to prostate. Okay, prostate is the only gland present in the males. Where the prostate gland is present? It is present at the neck of the urinary bladder. Okay, and surrounded by the smooth muscles. So these muscles make the prostatic sphincter, the small constriction to hold the urine inside the urinary bladder. In the female, it is related to pelvic fascia. So what it is? The inferior angle in the male, it is related to prostate gland, and in the female, it is related to pelvic fascia. And which is the fixed part of the urinary bladder? Neck is the, or inferior angle is the fixed part of the urinary bladder. Okay, next. Now you see these pictures. So this part is the apex of the urinary bladder, this one, and here you have, this is the median umbilical ligament. Apex of the urinary bladder. So here there is attachment of umbilical ligament attaching to the umbilicus. So in the female also like this. Whereas this part is the neck, the lower part. The neck of the urinary bladder is related to prostate gland in males. So here there is no prostate gland in females. Now you got the difference? Okay. Next, what are the blood supply of urinary bladder? The blood supply of the urinary bladder, superior vesical artery, inferior vesical artery, or this is a vesical artery in males, vaginal artery in females. Obturator artery, inferior gluteal artery, again uterine artery in females. The veins, they are coming from the internal iliac vein. In this picture, you can see the differences. What I told, in the male, it is present in front of the rectum. Urinary bladder, this is urinary bladder and this is rectum in front of the urinary bladder. Now, this structure is the female. So here it is, this is the rectum, This is the uterus, and here urinary bladder. Urinary bladder, it lies in front of the uterus in the female. Next, what is the trigone of the urinary bladder? The trigone of the urinary bladder means when you take a section of the urinary bladder, on the inside there is a small triangular area like this. Here, okay, and then these are the structures coming here. So what they are, this part is called trigone of the urinary bladder. So this trigone of the urinary bladder, so what it attaches? On the upper part, it has the openings for the ureteric orifice. These two are the ureteric orifice. In the lower part, the urethra. You got it? Yes. So, the trigone of the urinary bladder are the triangular area of the mucus known as trigone of the urinary bladder. It has two openings. Two ureters opens at the posterolateral angle of the trigone. See here. This, you remember, where the ureters opens in the urinary bladder. Posterolateral angle. Okay. Whereas this is the apex of the trigone. There you have the urethral orifice. Orifice means, the meaning of the orifice is the opening. Orifice means opening. Okay. This trigone, it contains the smooth muscles. The trigone contains smooth muscles, and it is more vascular and more sensitive. More vascular means it has the more blood supply, and it is very sensitive structure. Next is the urethra. Urethra, what is urethra? Urethra, from here what happens? Whatever the urine collected in the urinary bladder, it comes outside. Okay. Urethra begins in the neck of the urinary bladder and ends by opening outside the body. It's clear? The urine collected in the urinary bladder, it comes out the passage. That passage is called the urethra. So it is different in male and female, both structurally, and it has the lot of difference in the male and female urethra. Okay. The female urethra is very small. This one is the female urethra, whereas the male urethra is larger. Okay. The female urethra, in the female urethra, it passes only urine. Okay. It transmits only urine, whereas the male urethra, it passes both urine and seminal fluid. So these are the differences. Okay. The length, it is shorter. The length, it is more. Okay. Now you see here the female urethra. The female urethra, it is 1.5 inches or 4 centimeter in length. So because it is very short, the females are more prone for the urinary tract infections. The urinary tract infections are more common in females because the urethra is smaller in size. Then, so what it is, how it runs? It runs downwards and forwards, and then it is present in the anterior wall of the vagina. This I told, it transmits only urine in females. Okay, it ends in the vestibule of the vagina. So whereas in the males, the length is more, 8 inches or 20 centimeters. From where it begins? It begins in the neck of the urinary bladder. Urethra begins the neck of the urinary bladder, and it is S-shaped, and it transmits where it is, from where to where? The tip of the penis. It transmits both urine and seminal fluids in males. So it's clear here. Next. So these are the differences between male and female. So these you already know. In the male it is curved, in the male it has 3 parts. Okay, what are the 3 parts? See the previous picture. The part which is present inside the prostate, it is called prostatic urethra. So there is a small membrane in between the prostate and the penis. So that part is called membranous urethra. And the part which is present inside the penis, it is called penile part of the urethra or spongy urethra. Yeah, you should know the differences. You should know the difference of the male and female urethra. So whereas there is only one part in the female urethra. Okay, what are the relations here? The relations passes through prostate and penis in the males, does not passes through any genital passage, or it ends in the anterior wall of the vagina. Okay, so is it clear here? Anything you have not understood, so that we can revise? Okay, yeah, I will tell in the next. What do you want to know in the practical? No, he's telling you.